This 1969 Camaro is in the V8 Speed and Resto shop getting a modern upgrade in the form of a 650 horsepower supercharged LT4 V8 engine and all the required upgrades to make it sing in this slick Pro-Touring Camaro.
We went ahead and custom made a cold air intake. The air filter is a cone style K&N that's installed in the left side of the front fender.
The engine bay has changed quite a bit with this conversion, but the team successfully packaged everything cleanly in the nose of this Camaro.
To start here, we have an aftermarket reservoir that houses the clutch fluid in this particular one here. Just in front of that, we have a CPP brake master cylinder with a Hydro Boost kit as well. Below that is all stainless steel lines that, I guess, operate the power steering along with the brake booster pressure. Moving forward, we have Fessler fender braces. Just below that, we have a custom-made cold air intake. Just in front of that, we have a Canon Supercharger coolant reservoir here. Moving around the front here, it's a CNR radiator, and then we have our CNR heat exchanger just in front of that, and a vintage air condenser as well. The CNR heat exchanger and radiator come as a kit that bolt right into this Camaro. Here we have a more modern style hood latch. Moving across the front here, we have a Mighty Mouse PCV system, and then that's plumbed into the engine, and then basically all the PCV coming from the engine is plumbed into this here canister, so any blow-by or oil buildup that may come out of this engine will get caught here in this, and it can also be drained as well. And then from the Mighty Mouse canister, we'll move over, and this here happens to be the dry sump reservoir. And what you see here is just the top half. It actually extends down below the inner fender, so it's pretty deep. I believe it holds up to 10 quarts of engine oil in here. We also have Fessler hood hinges, a larger supercharger hat than what would come on this engine, and that's so that way we can support the methanol injection lines here. And then each one of these here are nozzles that are controlled by this one solenoid. And moving down, we have aftermarket larger ignition coil wires along with heat boots and the ultimate headers below that. Holding this all together is a Detroit Speed subframe. And to keep all the accessories running, we have a Drive Junkie accessory system, the alternator, power steering pump, supercharger, all the idlers, water pump, and AC compressor. This is nothing like stock.
Soon everything was buttoned up and it came time to turn the key.
First time we started the car, we used the base calibration that GM provided in the ECM because most of what we changed was the supercharger pulley and then the headers and the intake tube. The way we designed the intake tube, tried to put the mass air meter in the smoothest airflow, so it should read pretty close to what GM read on their test bench. The headers is a matter of calibrating your O2s to make up for the temperature difference being that far back. And the biggest change is the pulley. So we were actually able to drive the car and check some things out without getting into boost on the stock tune before we went down to the dyno and started tuning the boost.
Once the car was running and moving on its own power, we spent some time on the chassis dyno dialing in the tune.
The maximum horsepower number is always something everybody strives for, but we really wanted to make sure this thing was safe and reliable. So today we got the 69 Camaro with the LT4 swap on the dyno. We've been working with Mike Norris Motorsports on the tune, did a little work on the street, and it's really nice and drivable. Pulled it up to about 5,000 RPM on the street, but there's a limit to what we can do on the street. So we're here at the dyno to make sure the top end's all right and see what it makes. Ultimately, we will make 670 horsepower of the wheels, which is almost exactly the same as what the big block did. However, the power in this thing is more linear, whereas the big block was in a very small and happy range where it made that much power. With the LT4, as soon as you're into it, the boost is on, from just off idle all the way up to the red line at 6,600. You can even be in the wrong gear. You can be in too high a gear and punch it and it'll pull. And if you're in the right gear when you punch it, I've lost traction of this car in 70 because it pulls so hard.